So I'm answering some basic questions about content creation today. All you have to do is to just sit down and watch this video and you're going to learn a lot. Let's go. The first question, what motivated you into content creation? Um Unfortunately, a lot of these days money motivates people, but when I started or when we started content creation many years back, started on Facebook by buying these free jokes books and all of that, where you copy a joke from the book and you post it on Facebook and you want your friend or someone to react to it and say, "Oh, bro, you're so funny." So the motivation is the connection, the motivation is the engagement. Then, when we started on Facebook, there was no monetization, there was no ads, there was no influencer, there was nothing like that. It was all about connecting people together, the engagement, and that was what motivated me into content creation. Then later on, the monetary aspect, the opportunity began to show off. And of course, if you do what you enjoy, then you want to make money from what you enjoy. But money was not, or money is not the primary purpose of me going into content creation. How do you deal with content creation block? When you are having a block in, when you're having a creativity block and you're doing the research and the research is no longer researching, there is something called ethical modeling. Ethical modeling is basically you look at what a co-creator is doing and then you copy it and you remake it in your own voice, in your own style. You don't even need to change anything. But the fact that you are doing it in your word, in your voice, in your own editing, in your own style, you are ethically modeling that content. Do not be surprised. That creator that you are modeling could possibly model it from somewhere else too. So when there is creativity block and I'm trying to make research, right, to create content and everything is not working, then I look at other creators in my niche, see what's beneficial, what's entertaining, what's useful, what's educative, what's informative that they are doing, then I remake it. The moment you remake it, it becomes yours. There is no intellectual theft. All you've got is an ethically modeled content. No plagiarism, no copyright claim, nothing. You've just smashed it. Yeah, so ethical modeling works a lot. And that's why on YouTube you see almost everybody making the same kind of content, but people will tell it in their own way, in a different voice, in a different accent, in a different feel, in a different projection. Yes, same information, but the feeling is different. What was the biggest challenge you had in building audience? I would say consistency. Because you just have to keep showing up. Algorithm does not live in anybody's backyard. You don't know when your content will blow. You do the SEO, you do the keyword research, you use the hashtags, you use everything, but there's the algorithm factor. You can decide to pick it up or dump it. So the biggest challenge for me is the consistency because even when it's working and when it's not working, you have to keep showing up. What's the most important lesson I learned as a creator? The most important lesson I learned is planning. Every time I plan my content, it gives me time to make quality content. But when I don't plan, I end up rushing things. And when I rush something, I eventually come up with below par production or content. So planning allows me to like beat time. So what I do is I batch create content. It's just like those TV series you watch. For example, Prison Break, season one, episode one to let's say 21. Everything was not filmed every weekend. It was all produced in batches and then they began to release it, let's say every Thursday or every Saturday. So if you get what I mean. So I sort of create content for a month and then I begin to publish it every Saturday. And before I exhaust that 1 month, I make sure that I've created another four contents that would last me the following month and I start editing. So planning is one way I get to beat time. with content creation. How do I deal with criticism and negative feedback? I won't be like, it used to hit me, it strikes me really bad. But then that was when I started. Later on, I realized that it's part of the game. I can't please anyone. So I'm able to figure out a way to separate the constructive criticism from the negative criticism. So where possible, I pick up what I need to pick up and I discard the rest. Sometimes people send me a screenshot. Did you not see what this person is writing? People can hate on you for no reason. People can even take your content out of context and give it a different meaning. Some say talk about your accent, talk about your looks, about your production, about your sound, about anything that is not even related, that is big enough to weigh you down. But then you can't please everybody. Sometimes I want to delete negative comment because I don't want negativity around my space. But sometimes I realize that I spend so much time deleting negative comments when I could actually put in that time into making something better. So recently I don't even delete negative comment, leave everything there. Let algorithm see lots of comment and then it begins to push my content the more. What's one thing I wish I knew before content creation? It's a big one. There's something called perfectionism. You want to make everything perfect. It's a big enemy. At the end of the day, I'll spend more time editing, more time doing transitions, more time trying to finesse the subtitle. I just want everything perfect. The thing is, you're never going to get a perfect production. Now, the originality of the content, how relatable the content is, how resourceful that content is, how genuine, how authentic that content is far more important than the aesthetics. So, how am I able to come about this? One, most of the performing, most of the successful videos on my channel across my social media platforms, I actually didn't spend much time finessing them. But 10 out of 10, they were right on point, hitting the audience at the right spot, addressing the pinpoint problem. So when you are being real, your audience can feel it. When you are exaggerating things, your audience can feel it. When you are blowing things out of proportion, your audience are not stupid, they can feel it. So if you are able to make real, authentic, problem solving content, you don't need to spend time trying to finesse or try to perfect it. So if there is one thing I wish I knew before I started content creation, it would be perfectionism. It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of energy, and it might not get you anywhere. How do I stay motivated when my contents are not getting the right or the expected engagement or analytics I'm hoping for? Um, Nike used to have a slogan called "Just Do It," and that's what I imbibe. I just do it. Like I said, I don't know which one is gonna pick up. Yeah, it's good to make content and expect that you finished work on this content, then it should do good numbers. Yeah, but it might not do good numbers. So just do it. I've had a post on Instagram for like 6 months. It didn't get me 100 views, and later on, it did 30,000 views. Most surprisingly, I had a content on TikTok. I spent so much time, money, and energy into it. So I went to Stamford Bridge. That's the home ground of Chelsea Football Club in London. I spent money on tickets, spent money on the tour tickets, on train tickets, on this and that. I actually filmed it. I took time to edit, took time to do voiceover and all of that. I published this video, 4,000 views. For a month, 4,000 views. And then it has gone down on my feed. And someday, I think after a month, I kept getting notifications. Then I had to filter my videos to most popular. Then I realized that this video has done 20,000 views, and it kept moving there and then, and it did over 120,000 views with loads, I think 12,000 plus likes and thousands of comments. Note, when I published this content, it didn't move. It wasn't impressive at start. So rather than just sulking and feeling bad because your content is not moving, just do it. If you can make it better, make it better, but just do it. Follow Nike slogan, just do it. So lastly, how do I measure success beyond analytics? Yeah, I used to tell people there is success beyond the numbers. The numbers are very important, the likes, the engagement, the clicks, and all of that. But for me, the success is not even how much the money generated. I have a video that generated, single video generated £60 for me on TikTok, but I don't feel successful with it because I just copied a headline, put it on the video, and it did well. Meanwhile, I have a content that did not generate one penny for me, but I still derived a lot of satisfaction. There's a content I made on YouTube, and someone in the comments said he is deaf, he is dumb, and he's from South America. So this person does not speak my language. This person cannot hear me. This person cannot speak at all. But he said my hand gestures, my gesticulation, and my subtitles, and the way I broke everything down. He said he understood everything I said and he solved his problem. For me, that was something big for me. I had to screenshot it and I was just reposting it for many days. For me, it's a big win. So when I make a content and someone somewhere out there was able to realize the point I'm trying to make, I feel like I've helped someone. I feel like I've made impact. I feel like I've made influence. And for me, that's how I measure success beyond the analytics and the numbers. So thank you so much for watching this self-interview of mine. I just interviewed myself to let you know my journey on content creation, and hopefully you pick up one or two things that would help you in your journey. Please do not forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and let's keep growing together. You'll see me again pop up on your screen when I drop another content on content creation, tips, growth, and monetization. See you later. Bye.